So here on the Hearst Holistic Homestead, we like to take a lot of things and repurpose them for our health. Take, for example, my seeds. We take our egg cartons and repurpose them into mini greenhouses.
Yeah.
Today, my husband, Bryan, is going to take you to a room that's frequently visited at our house, and he's going to show you how to repurpose coffee instead of drinking it. So I'm just gonna hand the camera over to him and let him explain what he's about to do.
It's gonna be a buttload of fun.
You need to hold it up, like level it.
It's gonna take effort.
Yeah, get your shoulder guard.
It's gonna take all of my confidence and intelligence to execute this today, but we're doing a coffee enema, and it's my first one. So you're gonna see all the things you don't want to see, but you're gonna learn some things. I'm gonna learn some things, and there's a really important reason for us to do coffee enemas. There's a lot of benefits to them, but for me personally, there's just been some things that have gone on digestively that I know aren't right, and there's a lot of other things that I do right from fitness and health and nutrition that I'd like to correct this little matter and do my best with it. So it's kind of a Hail Mary, but we're gonna sling for the end zone and see what we come up with.
Are you ready for this?
No. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Never stuck anything up there before.
So keep it PG while I'm gone, okay?
It's rated R in my mind. Or XX, I don't know.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Alright, well we've got to go, so there's no help if it gets stuck.
I got a life alert button to push, I guess.
Alright.
Alright, so we are in the initial phases. The first step in this whole process is to make sure that you have a movement beforehand. That's going to clear things out a little bit so that the coffee enema can go in and do what it really needs to do, which is cleanse out the stuff that doesn't always come out whenever you do have a bowel movement. So I'm a few minutes into the simmering process here of the coffee in the cast iron skillet. We're going to continue to run that for another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to add a cup of just plain water to it and let it cool, and then we're going to move from there. Bottoms up. Alright, so being that I'm a rookie, I made a mistake, and so I'm going back now, and I've recreated the coffee again and done it in a saucepan as opposed to the iron skillet, which was suggested to me, but didn't play out quite the way that I hoped. Now I'm kind of concerned that maybe I've got too much water, because I'm expecting it to be difficult to hold this in based on some of the things I've read. So we're going to see how that plays out. But the question you may be asking yourself right now is, why are you doing this? That's a great question. You probably could answer that a number of ways. Why do I do a lot of things? But this thing in particular, coffee enema, is something that can drastically improve your glutathione levels. And glutathione is your master antioxidant, and so being that it's that master antioxidant, it really keeps the body clean, and it's going to upregulate the function of the liver as well as bile. And you may not think that sounds like anything that's really that important, but to me, I've had some liver enzymes that were really high on some blood work that I had done several months ago. And so this is one of the things that I've wanted to do as a means to sort of regulate that on my own without really having to use any type of medications or anything along those lines. So we're going to do what we can here and hope for the best. Okay, so I decided while my coffee cools that I might just go ahead and have a little bit of that coffee. Yeah, why not? Going in both ways today. Not bad. Hopefully it'll work out better going the other way, but we'll see. So I have poured the coffee into the enema pot here. As you can see, it's already running up the tube, so I've got to, when I drain it out, just to prevent any, I guess, gas, I've got to let the coffee run to the end of the tip and just drip out a little bit so that I'm all set up. But otherwise, I'm pretty much ready to go. Lube the tube, coconut oil, yeah, we're ready to go there. And the toilet is nearby just in case we have to abort mission rapidly. Lid is up and ready. Okay, so the coffee enema experiment is now complete. I went through the full process. They say you're supposed to hold it in there for about 15 minutes. I made it about 7. And then as I went to the bathroom, there was definitely some things in there that I assumed came out that had been needing to come out. It was difficult to keep it in for that duration even. So I look forward to continuing to do them. I think it'll be something I'll do probably at least weekly. And by no means is this my recommendation to anyone else, but I do want to encourage you to try it if it is something that you have a lot of issues with. Like I said earlier, I felt like that was sort of an Achilles heel for me, to where I take care of a lot of things health and wellness wise, but I just don't feel like things are right in that way. And I know that the importance of digestive health, liver health, and especially, as I mentioned a little bit earlier too, is that my own liver function wasn't as good as it should have been, probably from too much drinking and partying as a kid, and just things that were contrary to the health of my body. I tend to do things in extremes, so really push the envelope a lot of the time, and that's probably cost me a little bit on some of my vital organs, in particular the liver. So I hope that this is helpful, if anything, maybe slightly entertaining, and I feel like that is something that could benefit a lot of people. It's just getting past some of the initial uncomfortabilities of it. It actually was not nearly as bad as what I felt like it could have been in my mind. And maybe sometime down the line, if somebody out there really wants us to, we can go into a little more detail. Today I was just learning, and it felt very difficult for me to try to video a lot of it because I was reading on my phone, watching the videos on my phone, and then trying to orchestrate the camera. I don't feel like I was maybe as informative as I would like to have been in explaining the process. So if somebody wants to request that, if that's ever anything anybody has an interest in, we can do it down the line. But there may not be anybody out there that does, and it's just chalk it up to one more strange thing that Bryan does. So that's it for this. We're gonna call it a wrap on the enema. We'll move forward, probably have some better entertaining, at least more enjoyable things to watch coming up for you real soon. Thanks, guys. Today's enema was brought to you in part by Lucas Blake Watson. I wanted to give him a special shout out for providing me with the coffee beans in a timely manner so that I could execute today's enema.